Hi everybody, this is the Baseball Hood, the amazing, spectacular, terrific, the great one, the people's champion. Your host, and welcome back to the Baseball Hood 2, and hopefully you like this video and hit that subscribe button. So the one thing I can say is that even though the New York Mets collapsed, the owner spends money. The owner wants to win. The organization wants to win. There's no doubt that the Mets do the best to put a good team on the field. May not always work out, but they do their best. They try to bring in the best players. They brought in the best player in last year. They won the best players at shortstop, one of the best players first in baseball. And, they do their best. That's all you can ask for if you're a team that you want to win. And the Mets are going to have to do a lot of retooling, major retooling on this team. But be that as it may, there's some teams that don't even try. Okay? The Rockies don't try. And certainly the Pittsburgh Pirates don't try. And when you start hearing from anonymous sources, from Pirates players complaining about ownership, that tells you there's something going, that they know that there's a major problem. A major problem. And it doesn't seem like things are going to change anytime soon. I think they brought back the general manager. He did not get fired. Ownership was confronted by fans on opening day at that ballpark, that beautiful park in Pittsburgh. And basically the fans told the owner to his face, sell the team. And he just sort of laughed it off. He doesn't care. He makes whatever he makes, and that's all he cares about. He doesn't want to put anything extra into the team. And he has one of the best players in the game, and Paul Skenes, and he doesn't care. He won't put a very good team, competitive team, around him. And they could have won a lot more games if they had better pitching around him, better everyday players around him. They have an old Andrew McCutchen playing for them. What is this? It's rinky-dink Mickey Mouse stuff. So like I said, there's stuff coming out, and there are articles popping up about the Pirates ownership. And Pirates players anonymously are coming out and complaining. Let me read you from Outkick. Pittsburgh Pirates players roast organization for not trying to win. Pittsburgh finished 71-91 despite having NL Cy Young favorite Paul Skenes as their ace pitcher. Now, people thought that the team was going to really start to build when they drafted him 2 years ago. But now there's talk that they're going to trade him within the next year because they don't want to pay him when he gets to free agency. They don't even want to get to arbitration. He's going to be gone before that. And that's a shame. You want to have... And Major League Baseball doesn't do anything. The only thing they've done is make sure teams don't tank. But what about teams that don't even try? The Pittsburgh Pirates are the poster child of how little some owners care about their customers. And make no mistake, fans are customers. That's right. And when I do a video on the Mets, complaining about the Mets, I should be taken seriously. And I'm not a deranged lunatic, like Frank Fleming or Joe Benigno, who's a fool. I'm very honest about the team, and I want them to win, and I'll call them out if I have to. Due to organizational incompetence and sheer luck, the Pirates were put in a position to draft pitcher Paul Skenes, the first overall pick in the 2023 MLB draft. Skenes almost immediately became a generational superstar winning the 2024 NL Rookie of the Year. He then repeated that season almost immediately in 25, putting himself in position to be the runaway favorite to win the NL Cy Young Award. I also will say he also started the All-Star game for the National League the last 2 years. A team and franchise that takes itself seriously would recognize that it needs help on offense, invest money in the free agent market to build around their new ace. Instead, they signed an aging Andrew McCutchen, Adam Frazier, Tommy Pham, and some relievers. That's it. That's how they showed their fans they were serious about competing. Andrew McCutchen was a great player for about 6 years. Once he cut his hair, it's like Samson losing all of his oomph. He lost it after he cut his hair. Adam Frazier was nothing but a punch and Judy hitter in the major leagues. And Tommy Pham's crazy, but Tommy Pham is a good player he's a good guy to have on your team, because he'll push himself and everybody else around. A great competitive player. Predictably, it didn't work. The Pirates finished 71-91. Dead last in the NL Central. Fans are once again frustrated and disappointed, blaming ownership for its disinterest. Turns out the players agree with them. Well, the fans don't complain opening day. In a post-mortem on the Pirates season from the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette, one unidentified player told the media outlet they know exactly what's happening. Quote, people think we're underachieving, the player reportedly said to the Post-Gazette in May. Look around here. We're playing to our potential. This is what $90 million gets you. Some of the teams we play aren't even trying to win. They're rebuilding but still have a higher payroll than us. That same player later said, what do you think that tells us? There you have it. Even the players know that owner, Bob Nutting, simply doesn't care about competing, and that's the real problem with the distribution of payrolls in Major League Baseball. Yes, the Dodgers make a lot of money than the Pirates, as the Mets, Yankees, or the Cubs. But the San Diego Padres also play in a small market, and they routinely run payrolls that are twice that of the Pirates, if not more. They saw an opportunity with Fernando Tatis Jr. demonstrated that he could be a franchise icon to build around him, and so they did. Now, the Padres sell out most of their home games, ranking second in per game average attendance. I would also mention they also signed Manny Machado to a massive contract. A massive contract. And he's probably a future Hall of Famer. They have very good players. They have a good farm system. Always have talent. I mean, their pipeline to Latin America is just incredible. It's not, and here's the thing, it's not just about spending money on Major League players. It's also about spending money on the international level. It's also about spending money in the draft. Now, they got lucky with Skenes, because there was a lot of talk that they weren't going to draft Skenes. They were going to draft Dylan Cruz, but Skenes is a major pitcher, as you know. Pittsburgh has the pitching staff of the prospects that become a force in the division that's frequently up for grabs. Instead, they're going to keep spending $90 million, content to let Skenes waste the first few years of his career in obscurity before he signs with a team that takes itself seriously, and even his teammates know it. I mean, if you're on a team with this guy gives you a chance every day to win the game. But because this team doesn't have quality everyday players, they have no chance. They have no chance to win games. He has a losing record. He's going to win the Cy Young, but he has a losing record, I believe, this year. And that's sad. I mean, they have that kind of ownership. They have that kind of ownership that won't invest in your team and do all the things you need to do to win. I mean, and also, like I said, it's not just about money being spent on everyday players that are veteran players, that are good players. It's also about spending money well in your minor league system, spending well in the international market, bringing in the right players, and they just don't do that. They didn't even try. I mean, and the fans know this. The fans know that they don't even try. I mean, Nutting doesn't care. He has a bottom line, and he makes whatever he makes, and that's that. And I feel bad for them because they got a beautiful park, and they have a great franchise, and a great town. It's a great sports town. But I would say, they've not won in a very long time. They haven't won in 46 years, folks. They haven't won since 1979. The We Are Family, Willie Stargell, Dave Parker Pirates. I mean, that's a long time without winning. That's a long time. Any longer than 40 years, I can attest to that. That is a long time. It's a long time. And they've had good teams. They've had great players. I mean, Barry Bonds was a great player. They let him walk. They want to sign him to any kind of contract. And now you have a situation they can't keep anybody. I mean, they were quick to trade Garrett Cole to the Astros. He went on to have big years with the Astros and the Yankees. They just don't care. I mean, and they have all these great players, and they just waste it. I mean, you only live once in life, and you got to put out your best foot forward. You can't be sort of being like Uncle Scrooge and just being a money miser. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Well, it's unfortunate. If you're a Pirates fan, I feel sorry for you, because you have a great pitcher there, and you have some. I can't say what they have there in terms of players. Then they traded Brian Hayes to the Reds, and he's played really well for them. He played really well for the Reds down the stretch. You know, a lot of sort of disgruntled players there, quite frankly. Well, you let me know what you think about this video. Of course, please subscribe to Baseball Head 2, and I'll see you later.